did want to show you all this fence design that is.
I would love to see that.
Working on. You note like the fence is different all the way around. You get bored of doing the same thing. Not quite done with the whole perimeter fence to keep out deer, but it's pretty close. And so this is just some. There's very few fasteners in it, but there are a few screws. Whereas like some of the fence down that way, it has 2 posts for every one, and then instead of fasteners, it's woven branches. And this has it's mostly woven. Mostly it's like tension.
Have you thought? Have you ever considered doing something like a wild grapevine or something to help cement things together?
Yeah, definitely. I'd like to plant all kinds of climbing and spiny kind of stuff maybe, and just fast growing. Black locust would be great along the tops of here, and hopefully, yeah, a whole living fence that'll come and cement this one together and hold it even after it rots apart and starts falling. Hopefully this will last long enough for a living fence to come up and start. But yeah, this fence doesn't have, I didn't dig any post holes for it, and there's no fasteners at all. It's just woven between currently living trees, though some of them probably might not be living after a while because of the damage of weaving them together. But in certain spots, I think you could probably weave a whole fence if you had a wooded enough area. You could weave a whole fence without digging any post holes or using any fasteners of any kind. A little more shots of this if you want. I'm weaving in some bones along a part of it to make a kind of crazy sculpture. A little bit more of the fence. Right now it's just more sort of a snake. Hasn't taken on legs and wings yet, but it'll be more dragon-like eventually. You got a lot more bones to play with.
So are these deer bones most likely?
Some of them definitely are deer bones. These were all just gathered from the woods around here. Some of them are cow bones. I would guess most of them are deer.
So mostly you've just kind of used whatever happened to be on hand, and you just changed it up whenever different products came into your consciousness.
Yeah, so a lot of these are completely limbed, these poles, and then some of them I just didn't limb and just put them in, and so they'll turn red and brown and fall apart eventually, and then just be the branches. But I couldn't stand doing the same thing for too long.
Because how many actual linear feet of fence will you have put in by the time you're finished?
Probably close to 1,000.
That's incredible.
But that's between, I mean, Kai did a good, huge chunk of that.
Uh-huh.
And he's already done with his bit, and I still haven't finished the tiny bit on my side that I still need to do, so.
It's gonna, when you get further into summer, it'll be so fun to see how green it turns and how pretty it'll be. Everything feels so Lord of the Rings.
Yep. Pretty hobbity.
Yeah. I think people really crave that, though. I think there's a reason it's so popular. I think people really crave the thought of being able to create from what's just around you and make it beautiful.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with this pond. It's managed to hold water. I think a lot thanks to the ducks. Yeah, so this is my little earth-sheltered house.
And aesthetics, from walking on your piece of the ant village, aesthetics are very important to you. You're an artist at heart. Is that a pretty good...
That'd be accurate, I guess.
Okay. Everything that you've done is very tidy and picturesque.
Working on it. Still got a lot to do before it matches the vision that I have.
So you have shingles and unpeeled lumber.
Right. Well, these unpeeled logs, this is probably a mistake in terms of how, if I would do things differently. This was just like, I'm at the point where I need retaining walls. I'm going to build some crappy retaining walls really fast. And, I mean, these will probably, they're already home to a lot of, like, bugs. I don't know if you, I can't really hear any right now chewing on the bark, but there often are. And also woodpeckers.
Interesting.
The problem is the way that the retaining wall interacts with the umbrella layer of tarps. There's there ends up being a gap the way I did it. So I think that's sort of a problem. The solution might be to just have a little bit more of a roof over the retaining wall to bridge that kind of gap.
So if you were, I mean, it's beautiful, it's lovely, and if you were to do it differently, what would you do? What kind of retaining wall? Would you push it in harder, or would you have it just be a different material?
I think Jesse's retaining wall and umbrella design makes more sense than what I did. But I'd like to get away from putting any posts in the ground at all and being able to where there's no soil to wood contact, have like a stone plinth and then laterally brace the whole structure so that it would last. You know, there wouldn't be the limiting factor of like eventually that post is going to rot and either need to be replaced or something. Avoiding that entirely, but still making it laterally braced enough that all the earth won't just like crumple it or topple it over.
Okay.
Might be tricky, but I don't know. Eventually, build another one. Might be better.
And so you used, are these fence posts, or did you cut this with Paul's some lumber mill?
These are some purchased cedar boards. I'm not showing the inside right now. I have a lot to do in there. It's still a huge mess, but eventually there'll be some cabinets and more like a dresser, a wardrobe built in. Eventually, I'd like to be able to have this place be sort of an inn.
Like an Airbnb type of thing.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Because maybe people would get a kick out of staying in something like this. Siesta is what this house is called.
I love it. So if I turn it off, can I see the inside?
Yeah. Yep, patreon.com/Ava Permaculture. That's AVA Permaculture.
Anything else?
No, thanks.
That's it.
Thank you.
Thank you. This is beautiful. Okay, so where can we find you?
Kai Colorado at MSN.com. It's just KAI and then Colorado at MSN.com.
And do you have any other websites for people who want to get a hold of you and ask you questions?
I have a thread on Permies.
Cool.
And we have a Patreon too.
Okay.
You can find that on Evan's blog.
Okay.
It'll be in a little subtext.
Evan's blog. Perfect. We'll go look for it.
Yeah.
Everybody go support them in what they are creating.
Mm-hmm.